Let's bring in Selena so she can hear the big opening and everything.
Oh, yeah.
We're so excited. Where's Selena Gomez? Selena Gomez and survey says Selena Gomez. Honey,
Good morning.
you forgot your pants.
I did.
Oh my gosh. Come here. May I have a hug? Sorry about the eye.
okay.
Oh my God. It's not pink eye. You're not going to catch anything.
That's okay.
You're going to sit in my seat. Come over here.
I want to get LASIK though. Really
You want to
bad.
get laid? What did you say?
LASIK.
LASIK. I had headphones on. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, you're lucky you got that sound bite.
Be nice.
I'm just kidding.
We'll play nice. So Selena's wearing these jeans that they're full of holes, and as you know, if you go buy jeans, the more holes they put in them, the more they charge you for them.
Yeah, why is that?
Really?
Yes. They
Oh,
charge
that's
you double.
true. Yes. Well, these are vintage. So I
Is that
think
what we're calling those? And
Sure.
so if they're old and
Sounds good.
torn, I just go to Goodwill and take them home and boil them.
that's the idea.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you. It's
We
so
have-
good to be back.
Fun things to talk about.
Yes.
The song, we've been playing it every hour today. Good for you.
Hey, thank you, by the way.
ASAP Rocky. Yeah. So the first time hearing the song on the radio was listening to our show this morning.
I actually haven't heard it on the radio yet.
It's different, isn't
So
it?
now I haven't actually heard it, and now hopefully I'll hear it here.
Yes. Oh, so you haven't heard it yet?
No, I have not heard it yet.
Oh, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
And it
well, hopefully.
sounds different, right? When you hear it on the radio?
No,
than
it
when you're
always
hearing
is
it-
different. That
Yeah.
that initial reaction, because it goes through all these stages when you're recording the song. It'll go through the beginning one, then we add things, the production changes, and then obviously adding ASAP. So it's kind of surreal. It's a cool moment.
A lot of people don't know this, but radio stations in the back room, we have this thing, we call it the meat grinder. And every song you play and everything we say goes to this box. Mm-hmm. It makes the music sound different, makes us sound different. You should hear how awful we sound without the
Oh
meat
wait,
grinder.
I was like, does it make me sound really good?
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
It makes us
No,
all
it just
sound
makes
sexy.
you sound weird.
No, it makes us better. I mean, in real life, we have high-pitched, squealy voices. It's
Yeah.
terrible,
Right.
but it goes through this processing. We sound sexy as
Sound
hell.
much better.
So
fun.
Selena, we'll put good for you through the meat grinder. We'll see if you like
Thank
it.
you.
But I will take you back. How many years ago was it when your first single was played?
Had to have been 15, 16.
So we played Selena's first single on our station, and she ran into the room to hear what it sounded like on the radio.
Yes, it was naturally. And it was kind of one of those surreal. I mean, I still get that way. Like, I'm getting all flustered thinking about it because I remember that feeling, even being in the car with my mom. Like, it never gets old, that feeling.
Good.
So, and I'm here listening to Good For You now. I'm 22. Ha.
Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
I mean, but you think about those days, and it takes you back to a whole different time, you know? And now you come forward to today, and I must ask you the question. It's actually a quote from Sir Winston Churchill. His quote was, "These are the best days." So my question to you, are these your best days?
Honestly,
Yeah.
yes. But I hear my 30s are going to be good.
As long as you know your days to
Right?
come are going to get even better.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. The older you get, the more wisdom you gain, the more life
See,
experience
I love that.
you gain.
I
and
love
that's
that
what
you're
I want.
excited about getting older and
Oh,
not
yeah,
like
for
most
sure.
people who are like freaking out that they're going to get older. This is awesome.
I'm in a very awkward stage where it's like I love hanging out with older people and I connect with them, and then I also feel like a 15-year-old sometimes. So
Well, then
it's
we're
like,
friends. I'm a 50-year-old guy. I'm your type.
Oh, perfect.
A 50-year-old gay guy. I mean, how can you go wrong? This is your room.
Perfect.
But you know, you look back on, let's say when your first single came out, do you ever say to yourself, okay, you know what? I thought I knew it all then. Obviously, now I realize I didn't know crap.
Oh gosh, every year I
Right.
think I have something figured out, and it's like looking at an outfit that you wore last year.
Right.
Sometimes you look at things and you're like, what on earth was I thinking? That's most of the time for me. But like, for instance, I'll probably say that like a few years wearing this outfit, I'll be like, why on earth did I wear that?
What was I not thinking?
Yeah, exactly.
But like when you were 15, what did you know, quote unquote, for sure? Like, what did you think you had?
I mean, I was stoked to have a job, but I thought like I had everything figured out. I was like, great. So I'll get married at like 20. I'll have kids at like 23, which is next month. So I like had all this like life planned out because that's what you do. You're like drawing names on books. At the time, it was Jesse McCartney that I was obsessed with.
Oh,
So-
I wrote his name on books too.
I did too.
Aw,
I
see?
still do.
But you thought you had it all figured out.
Yeah, of course.
You know, Selena, my father passed away close to 90 years old, and maybe 2 years before he died, he told me, he said, I'm almost 90. He said, I still haven't figured it out. So we go through our lives, Selena, we don't really know everything, but as long as we're open to learning new things and acknowledging, well, I had that wrong. I like
Yeah,
knowing
of
the
course.
truth.
It's about growing. It's about learning. I've never had a perfect life. I don't think anybody does. So I'm honored to have lived my life as well as I possibly can.
Well, as you heard here on our show, an exclusive, she's having a child at 23.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's what I heard a few minutes
Well,
ago.
I look great.
You look- you look- what is that show? That TV show that's...
I didn't know I was pregnant.
I never. There's no way
Those
in
are
hell.
interesting stories,
No
you
way.
know?
I
It's
know,
like
it's
in
like-
the toilet. I'm like, what?
Oh, Selena.
That is so weird.
I know. This is why we love trashy summer TV. You know, it's serious. I'm being totally serious. During the summer, this is when the networks or whoever, Netflix, they put out the shows that are like, because these are less viewing days. We don't make as much money in revenue. But these are my favorite shows. Like, oops, I didn't know I was pregnant. And
Right.
go down the list.
Right.
We were watching a show last night about people who are a man and a woman who are dropped off on an island, totally naked, and they have to survive.
I've seen that. And then they have to see who lasts longer.
Yes.
Is that Naked and Afraid? Is
Yes.
that what that is?
That's it. Naked and Afraid.
There it
I've
is.
watched that. That's very interesting.
This is quality. Quality
Quality
entertainment.
television, folks.
Okay, let's talk about the single "Good for You." We're going to play it in a few minutes. You're going to hear it on the radio, and you're going to fly around the room. We're going to do the voodoo you do. It's okay. So we all know that it's great to go into a studio and work your magic with great producers and musicians. But when you go into a studio and you collaborate with, let's say, A$AP Rocky, or we'll talk to other collaborations about more collaborations coming up. What does that do for the song, for you? How does it really change it other than having another voice? What does it do to you and how you perform?
Well, I think in general, like I said before, there's a process. So when I recorded the song, there was no feature. I don't even think there was a plan for a feature. I recorded the track. I responded to it so much that I had the entire team who wrote the song come to Mexico and finish the album with me because it was the perfect way and the perfect tone that's set for this next chapter for me. So, and then once it was done, I could not help but want somebody on it, and I'm obsessed with A$AP Rocky's new album. I'm obsessed with it.
Right.
So I was like, all right, let's just see. And nobody's ever really responded if it's more of a feature thing. I haven't had a feature. So I slipped it to him, and next thing you know, he responded really well. and he laid the track down, and we've been kind of just texting about music and stuff. And yeah, it just kind of happened organically, which I love, because that means he's clearly very, one of the most truest artist, because he does not work with anybody that he doesn't work with, which he's made that very clear, that he doesn't want to or that he doesn't believe in.
So when he said yes, did you have that moment?
Yeah.
Like your breath, you're like,
I geeked out. I was like, I'm legit to A$AP.
okay, you made it.
It was cool. So obviously he added this whole, it kind of takes it to a whole zone. I'm all
It
about
is.
a bridge. I love bridges in a song. That to me is such a special moment. So he kind of took this song into a whole new other world, which I love.
And you'll hear it in a minute if you haven't heard it. By the way, what was the first thing I said when we played it this morning at 6 o'clock?
It was sexy as hell.
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say?
This is baby making music.
Oh, that's right. It is baby
Both
making.
are good. Both are compliments.
But you have to say it like that. It was great. It's awesome. But then I go back to I Want You to Know with Zedd, which it haunts me, this song. Because sometimes I'm like, stop it. Because it's so catchy and so great. And it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're making people feel good with your music. Is this
Thank you.
What are you trying to tell your story and purge these life experiences? Or do you really want to just make people feel and think new, different things with your music? What is your goal here?
I Want You to Know is, it definitely wasn't my song, but when Anton and I met and we just kind of talked, he played me his whole album. And this one specifically just made sense because it is very upbeat. It's kind of empowering in a way, and it had
very
nothing
much.
to do with anything going on. So it kind of happened organically again. And I think that's how that's the best stuff.
But Selena,
in my opinion.
when fans come up and say, that song of yours, I was going through this in my life, and your performance in those words totally changed my perspective on my
Yeah.
entire life. I mean, how seriously do you take those comments from your fans?
Very, yeah. There's so many songs on the new album that are geared towards what girls are feeling.
Let's talk about them. Give us a hint, even though can you bring the album? Let's play the whole thing.
I can't.
What is it you play?
I can't. I was actually just talking about it with someone else, and I had like people behind the mic going like, dope, dope, dope.
Why?
Dope. Because obviously this is going to be the biggest record that I've ever done, and I think it's exciting to kind of leave people wanting more. But in general, the messages aren't just about relationships or love. It's about the daily struggles that people deal with, not even just young girls, you deal with, like having to bite your tongue and be nice about certain things. I think everybody in this room kind of understands what that feeling's like.
I'm doing that right now.
Oh,
I wanna
really that awful?
That's really nice.
Thank you.
I want to play a new song.
Oh, that you mean that? Okay.
So this is what you're saying. This album is taking us on a different journey through your journey.
Sure,
Okay.
through my perspective. It's not even necessarily pinpointing my thing, my story personally. It's just my perspective on situations.
Which brings me to my favorite tweet. This is a great tweet.
Oh, okay.
Shall we?
Yes.
Or was it Instagram? Hell, I don't know.
Oh, it's Instagram.
Sometimes I get frustrated when I hear lies about who I am. The internet is meant to keep you updated, but it just takes old news, freezes it like it's now. You have watched me in pain and I've owned up to it through my music and actions. I grew up with you. I am beyond excited to show you the next chapter, the truth. I've been keeping so many secrets. I'm reborn in every moment, so who knows what I'll become. As long as I'm happy with me. Hashtag strong is beautiful. Hashtag healthy perspective on them fools.
Yeah. I love the way you read all of that, by the way.
But, when you're a musician, you want to do your thing, you want to do your art. But then when the press and fans turn what you do into this, you're under the microscope and they watch all your personal things you do, it's like, well, what a pain in the ass that's got to be.
Careful, though. It's not really fans. I think fans are actually smarter than a lot of the media, in my opinion.
Okay. Thank you on behalf of the media.
Hey, this is different.
Okay.
This is much different.
All right.
Are you trash talking me every morning when I'm not here?
No.
Well, there you go.
Have we ever?
Never. Nope.
The idea of that is just that my fans know who I am. And so no matter what happens or what people are saying about me, what's going to come through is who I am. If I was truly everything that people say I am, you would see it. It's not like I can hide anything anymore. I mean, my life is so public that I do take that into consideration, but I'm also a normal person. I'm a human being and I'm feeling things. I get sad, I get anxious, I get emotional, I get happy. It just, especially in my 20s, my gosh, I feel like I'm figuring out who I am and I'm constantly being, not constantly, I've just been criticized for trying to live my life. And that's all that rant was about. And hashtag strong is beautiful was a little hint that I was going to be a Pantene girl, and then I announced it.
There's that. But, if you're going to criticize me, criticize my work. Don't criticize who I was holding hands with.
Right.
Or criticize something that's current. Don't criticize something from 2 years ago.
Exactly.
But that's another way, and Selena Gomez knows this. I use both names just in case people are turning us on going, who is that? Selena Gomez is here. The way the press works is, let's say you're spotted walking out of a restaurant holding hands with Barney Rubble from the Flintstones. Mm-hmm. And then a year later, that's all you're still dating Barney Rubble because a new story, a new hand being held hasn't come out in the press, and they freeze you in time, and that's a very simplistic way of looking at it.
Right, that's why I said that. It's very interesting, and there's also more things going on in the world that's more important.
Yes. So other collaborations on the upcoming. When is the album coming out, by the way?
There is not a date, and I'm not saying that just to be secretive. There isn't a date. So we're figuring that out. We're in the final stages of cleaning up some stuff and getting it started.
Are you ever ready to let it go? Or is it hard for you to be like, okay, and now the album is done, people can have it? Or will you be constantly tweaking if you were allowed to be tweaking?
No, I want it out now.
You're done. You're ready.
Yeah, I've worked on it for so long, and I think people are going to be surprised, and Good For You is just the beginning, so I'm excited.
What about Hotel Transylvania 2? Did you start working on that yet?
I did. I actually have to go back and record a little bit more, but the movie's basically done.
So
I'm excited. It's my little animation, my little family stuff. It's fun because for me, that kind of removes me from everything. It's really fun to kind of go and kick it with Adam and all the gang and see all the kids come. He brought his kids and just hang out with them. It was really fun.
And the great part about doing animation is hair and makeup only takes a second.
Yeah, you wear your pajamas.
You think, but sometimes they film you now. So I'm like, you can't win.
That's so
That's
sad.
like us, though. Like, we think we can come.
Yeah,
you can go to
exactly.
work in your pajamas every day. I'm like, not anymore.
I
Yeah,
know,
right,
it's
yeah.
true. It's true.
You should see what we would dress like if you weren't here. Because you're here where there's
yeah.
cameras. Now we're like, I can't wear a T-shirt and shorts. Wait, go back to making the album a second ago. You said you were in Mexico? Mm-hmm. Okay, so your day, you wake up, you have your like morning shot of tequila or whatever.
No, that's us.
Maybe go for a swim. And then there's a studio. How close is the studio to the house you were renting or the hotel you were in?
So the purpose of Mexico was I started the record off like really well. I was in the studio constantly. I was kind of trying to find my sound and what I wanted to say. Then I hit this block where I was so uninspired and unmotivated. I was just like, I don't know what it is. Like and I was still working with everybody. I was still with the same producers. And I'm like, I just don't know what I need this album needs something. I need something for this record.
And you couldn't put your finger on it.
I couldn't. I didn't have the title yet. I was just I was searching for something. So next thing you know, I call Hit Boy, I called Rock Mafia, and Justin Tranter and Julia Michaels, who are writers. So I got my 2 producers and I got a writing team and I rented this house in Mexico. I was like, I just want to leave. I want to go to Mexico. I want to get inspired by culture, by people, by music. And we went for about 6 days and there was a room in the actual house that we turned into a studio. Mm-hmm. So we kind of, a little bit like you said, we did the little morning stuff and we'd go in the ocean, but most of the time we were kind of locked up in the studio. And I came up with the title of the album there. I came back with 4 songs that I have completed the record. And it made me so happy. And then I came back and did other stuff. So I was super motivated after that.
So how do we apply this to everyone listening? Let's say anyone doing any job comes across these stumbling blocks in life. Mm-hmm. Where it's not devastating. It's not just awful, bloody gore. But you feel like there's something missing or you just can't find the answer to that question. You can't find that taste from that food, whatever. Mm-hmm. So what do we all do? Like you did. What was it in Mexico that made you...
Honestly, it's not even... Mexico specifically was for my music. I have those moments all the time where I feel like I'm kind of doing the same thing over and over again. So a drive. Like I'll drive to Santa Barbara. I'll just take a drive by myself or with my girlfriends, listen to good music, just kind of getting out of your environment.
We were talking about this the other day, where how you get into these ruts. Mm-hmm. What's kind of funny about people who listen to our show, and I will say this, and everyone listening will say, "Oh, you're right." They open their eyes at the same second every day because that phone wakes them up.
Right, of course.
They have a toothbrush in their mouth, usually within a 3-minute span from the day before and the day before that. They're driving across the same bridge in the same quarter hour of the 7 o'clock hour that they drive across every day. And then they wonder after a few years, well, what's going on in my life? I'm take a different way to work. Get up 10 minutes later. These little things we can do in our lives to just like kind of scramble it up. Yeah. That's what you did. You went, you hung out with some friends, you called some new voices, you drank tequila for breakfast, which I'm totally making up. and that's what inspired you to like open it up.
Right. I think that's a little bit, in your own way, obviously, I feel like everybody should have a little bit of an escape, to where it's just about yourself and clearing everything around you and really focusing on what makes you happy and are you okay? When's
the last time you were just sitting there minding your own business at home mm-hmm. and you had some friends call up, let's go do this, let's go do that. You're like, no, I'm going to hang out. And so you actually just go to the store and you come home and you grill a piece of chicken.
That's every night.
For yourself.
What are you
really?
Talking about?
Really?
Literally.
So you love just doing things for yourself, spending time alone with the cat or
maybe
whatever.
Too much. I don't have a cat yet. Don't make me a cat lady yet.
Oh, there's a cat lady right there.
I'm not a cat lady. I own 1 cat.
Hey, it's not bad. Taylor's trying to convince me to get one.
I know.
So
our cat's drinking out of the faucet. Did you see that?
What's wrong with that? Better out of the toilet. Have you seen cats that do that? It's like, please, can you leave your toilet open? My cat's thirsty. Like,
my mom's cat, we caught them going potty on the toilet. We don't know how the cat did it.
You can train them.
One time it was.
So you love. See, I love people that can be okay with themselves. Mm-hmm. A lot of people like Scary here.
Yeah.
if a weekend goes by and he's not out in a club or out doing something, he feels like he's FOMO, man. He's the fear of missing out. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I get crazy. I get nuts. I'm like, because I see everything going by on Instagram, like, oh, they're having fun, and I'm not part of that.
Really?
Yeah, I need to cure that.
That's interesting.
So you're okay with yourself?
Club? What is at the club that you want so much?
Just hanging out, drinking.
He's holding on to his youth, Selena.
I see.
Velvet
I see.
rope.
Okay, I'm caught up.
Don't you ever get that way?
I mean, no, I'll go if I want to go to the club, but I'm usually honestly at home.
Yeah, there's young
There's
girls
a
at the club.
balance. There's a balance. Maybe we need to meet in the middle, you and I.
All right. So okay, go out, but you don't feel the need to. I've got to be out, otherwise I'm missing out on something.
No, but I think a lot of that has kind of been caused by like not wanting to leave my house in general.
Right. Well,
you know?
and having cameras on you all the time, does that become a pain in the ass a little bit?
LA is really hard, yeah, because they're kind of everywhere. But I find my ways. I trick them. I sneak out when I can.
Move to Laguna Beach, honey. Get out of
To
LA.
Laguna Beach. That would be a hard commute.
No. If you're at home every night, I don't know. You could buy a house anywhere. LA. If you could live anywhere else, where would you want to live, Selena?
Texas.
Yeah, you miss home? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I miss Dallas. I was talking to some friends yesterday about Mexican food, which I can't find good Mexican food
I just
here.
went to Papacitos last week.
Yeah,
it was so
Papacitos.
good.
Yum.
It was so good.
I know. You'd move back to Texas.
Yeah. I will eventually.
You can go home. They say you can't, but you can.
Oh, yeah.
Is your family still in Texas? They are. How often do you get to see them?
I try often, maybe like 3-4 times a year. But I'm at the point now where I fly my grandparents to me. So every 2 months I fly them to me.
Aw,
That's so nice.
Yeah.
and your sister.
Do they
How's
like
your
it?
little sister?
Oh my God, my sister's so cute.
She is so cute.
My parents won't let me post anything on social media, but I would post all the time if I could. She's just adorable. She just turned 2. So she's kind of following me and like copying what I'm doing. And I give her like sugar and stuff. It's fun.
Sugar. A spoonful of sugar.
And then run away, right?
Yeah,
and mom and
yeah.
dad can handle the after
All
effects.
right. Selena Gomez, the new single, Good For You with A$AP Rocky. We got to play it for you next. Can we take a break? We have a few more seconds with you. Then I know you have a full day of something. Or you can stay all day. I don't give a crap. Whatever you want to do.
All right, thank you.
Selena Gomez owns the house. We'll be back with Selena right after.
Immensely popular and multi-talented young star. All this for Selena Gomez.
Selena, you know you always have a home with us.
Thank you.
You have a safe haven here. All is cool.
Please welcome back to our show,
Selena
Gomez!
I said that to you? You know, whatever's going on during that interview.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that must have been during a crazy time.
Right.
Where, I don't like guests to think that they come in and they have to be afraid that we're going to ask some question that's so personal.
At this point, I'm just prepared. I'm like a rock. You can't get through me. I'm telling you.
There's no need to have to feel like that, because I don't want you to have your guard up for the questions that are fair and simple.
Well, you know what's interesting is I was just thinking about this the other day. It's like, people actually encourage people to want to be better. People are like, we want you to be better, and everybody's like, I want you to be healthy, I want you to be happy, I want you to be this. And then the moment you're trying to find some sort of happiness, it's so crazy. It's not safe for anyone. You can't talk about anything that you want to share with people because it's going to be ripped apart. And that's what makes me really sad. That's why I had to start doing it through my music. And that was the whole reason why The Heart Wants What It Wants came out, was because I was like, I have a right to say what I'm going to say. If you're going to sit here and talk about my life, I have a right to say what I want. And obviously, I'm going to do it the way I wish to. But it is unfortunate. You have to be guarded. I just told you during the break, I don't trust anyone.
That makes me kind of sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. No, it's something that I have to live with, and I have to find the balance of who I want in my life and who isn't good for me.
Well, you have like Taylor, who I know you love, and you can tell her things. But do you have a good handful of friends that you feel like?
For sure. I have 2 roommates, and one's a realtor, and one is working for social media and a nonprofit charity organization. So they're so removed from my world, which is refreshing. Yes, I do. To say the least, they are way better people than I am. They're good girls. You got to surround yourself with good people.
You really do.
You do.
Well, good. And you should. But you deserve to feel safe and sheltered.
Thank you.
With people. And the ones that you trust, as your roommates have done, will rise to the top.
Yes,
and
they do.
And I wish you a fantastic life full of meeting new people that take care of you
Thank you.
because they expect you to take care of them too. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, those times, when all the thing is, if you're too private, they're up to something.
Right.
And if you give too much information, then you're like, God, you're up to something.
Right, yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
damn it,
literally. You can't
let it
really
go.
win.
but I really mean that. If you have the message you want to get out, you're safe.
You
and
know
sound
what?
here.
That's all. My message always shines through. My fans know who I am, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Excellent. Let's talk about the song. We're about to play it, by the way. Good for you with A$AP Rocky. It is, as I said earlier, baby making music.
Yeah, it is.
But keep in mind, women typically listen to lyrics first, and men typically listen to the sound of the music. And I hear your voice. I'm not quite sure what it's saying yet, because that's how guys listen to music. A lot of people. Is this song about making babies? What is it about?
No.
Okay,
you know,
good.
it's
Tell me now what it's about.
But if you wish to do that, I'm not one to judge. But for me, the song, I wanted something that represented the confidence of me turning into a young woman.
Right.
And there's not a love interest in the video. It's all me. And some of it, I released a 30-second clip. I'm on a couch and it kind of seems like it's the morning, the next morning. And you just kind of, you're with yourself. And I feel like for me, feeling good for someone makes me feel good. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
And I think
100%.
this song represents the confidence that I truly have inside of me. And I think it's the vulnerable side that I've expressed, but it's also a combination of kind of just feeling myself a little bit. It's good.
I like that. And it has a sexy sound. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. So you feel sexy.
Right. And for this record,
part of it.
For this record, I wanted to find my sweet spot, if you will. I know that vocally, maybe I wouldn't be the greatest singer in the world, but I know my strengths now. I know that I can translate emotion and heart, and I've written more than I've ever written on any album for this record. And I have a lot to prove, but I think, for instance, this song is totally my register. It's kind of
Excellent.
smoky and fun and sexy.
Smoky.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, a little rasp.
All right. Well, we're going to play it for everyone. I want everyone to hear it. You'll hear it for the first time on the radio.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we do have questions from the common man.
Okay.
Greg T, the frat boy.
Yeah.
Now, look, it is a radio show, but radio's hokey. We have to add a little bit of hokiness to it. Greg T feels these are questions that the common man.
Yeah, like if I was your neighbor and we were both taking out the garbage or we're at the mailbox, we would just chit-chat.
All right.
Yes.
And just talk about these things.
Greg
Okay.
T. All right, go ahead. Question 1.
So what's up, Selena? How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Today's a good day.
So, when I go to Starbucks, I have to give my name and they write it on the coffee cup. So, like when you go to Starbucks, you tell them I'm Selena Gomez and they write your name on the coffee cup?
No, I give them a different name every time.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What are past names you've used?
Beatrice.
Oh, no. Just like, I've actually used Maurice before.
That's a good name.
Or like,
Okay.
I'll just do like Ashley or, Teresa or something. I'll just
Okay.
say somebody else's name.
Okay, cool.
So, Selena, when I go download one of your songs, I have to pay $1.29. As a major artist, do you have a lifetime free download pass or do you have to pay $1.29 to iTunes as well?
It's not free. Apple's not doing that for me or anybody.
Whoops.
I think no, they are. They just changed the policy. I meant like in general. I feel like I love to support other artists, so I buy everything. I buy hecka albums.
All right, $1.29. Support your fellow artists.
So this is the summertime to ride some cool rides. So when I go to an amusement park, I have to wait online for about 45 minutes to get on my favorite roller coaster. Do you get to cut the line for free?
I hate admitting it, but yes.
Oh man!
The only part, okay, yes, I do. But I will say,
you're
to my
lucky.
defense, that sitting in a line, I feel like the attraction would then become me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like wouldn't be me getting on the ride.
Right.
That's,
You
the
don't want to
only-
become the ride.
Yeah.
That sounded weird.
Well,
Whoa.
there you go. There's another story.
Okay, depends on what amusement park that is.
Hey,
What else?
Selena, sometimes when it's bad weather, I sometimes get to sleep over my friend Scary Jones' apartment because he lives closer to work. So you seem to have a lot of celebrity friends. What other female celebs do you have sleepovers with?
I've spent the night with all my girlfriends, like Taylor, Lily Collins.
That's cool. Can I be invited next time?
No.
It's a
I'll answer that one for you.
Crazy, a little creepy.
All right, one question that we got to roll.
So, no one ever will forget their first real kiss. Mine was Laura Zemak. I don't know where she is today, but if she's listening, what's up, Laura? So, who did Selena Gomez kiss for the very first time?
Well, my first kiss ever was on TV, and that was to Dylan Sprouse from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And then my real life first kiss, I don't remember his last name. I was 14. His name is Juan.
Juan.
Hello, Juan.
Oh, excellent.
Wherever
See,
you are.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
there you go. I think we've covered a lot of ground with Selena today.
you learned a lot.
We did. Juan's out there right now going, I can't remember her last name. It was Selena something. I don't know. She was great, though. 14 years old.
I hope she's doing okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you so much for supporting me all these years.
Well, and we will continue to do that. And as I always say in every interview, obviously, you always have a home with